Hello, angel babies. Welcome or welcome back. My name is Trisha, and this is Trisha's Temple. Today, I want to know, is your connection limerence, or is it love, or is it something in between? I have been pondering this question, this energy, for probably my entire life, if I'm being honest, but more focused for probably about a year and a half or so. And I think that it's something that we all bump up against at some point in our life. Wanting to know, what is this connection? What is this feeling that I'm experiencing, really? We like to make meaning out of everything. We're meaning-making creatures. So, first I want to look at the origin of this connection that you've been in. Even like the deep-rooted connection. The sun. Okay. So this is already giving off some pretty positive energy. And the root of this connection that you're thinking of might be more beneficial, might be serving you in ways that you may have not initially expected or understood, intended, but now it's like this feeling of being nourished. I mean, this leprechaun, you know, I was actually really terrified of leprechauns as a child, and I would hide anything that I thought that the leprechauns would be interested in, and would just like dress fully in green. Oh, I opened right to it. Perfect. Oh, it's actually Rumpelstiltskin. Okay, that actually makes a bit more sense. Let's read. In this tale, a miller's daughter who has become queen is faced with the challenge of saving her unborn child by guessing the name of a little imp who threatens to otherwise kidnap the child. The card of the sun symbolizes light and the power to reveal what is hidden, opening the door to truth. When the queen discovers the imp's real name is Rumpelstiltskin, she neutralizes the blackmail and, thanks to her persistent search for the truth, successfully fulfills the promises made, living her life to the fullest. The power with which Rumpelstiltskin deceives the queen involves spinning straw into gold, hence the direct reference to the helichrysum plant, which is true vegetable gold. Helichrysum is a cathartic plant that brings to light what is submerged, allowing your body to cleanse itself and gather new strength. It's time to call things to their proper name and reveal what remains hidden. So this relationship, no matter if it is limerent, loving, something in between, no matter what meaning you end up assigning to it, because at the end of the day, you are the one who gets to assign the meaning, assign a label, if you will. I think that this is one of catharsis, one of purging what is not loving, what is not truly aligned with your soul's like core identity. Like, let's say that you are born just at your purest form. And along the way, you start gathering these pieces that aren't really you because of the systems, the way that the world expects you to behave and mold yourself to survive. And then there are certain interactions with people, like this particular relationship, that have this type of it's like you're being stripped away of that which is not really you. And sometimes that is a comfortable feeling and it feels really lovely and relieving, and other times it feels like a living hell. Sometimes it feels like the other person is being intentionally cruel or manipulative. But at the end of the day, I think that you are growing closer to yourself through this connection. Okay, so what is like very real and meaningful about this connection, and has been from the beginning, the origin of this, the inception? Yeah, that's one. 5 of Swords. Yeah. It's an energy of inner turmoil that is being manifest externally. So it's similar to what was being said here, that what is true and meaningful about this connection is the way that it has a way of honoring like I'm thinking of Aurora as a baby and how she was just like this innocent little thing, and then she's being cursed by Maleficent, right? So there are some things that you kind of inherited or were just born into through no fault of your own. But now you have this responsibility to figure out what you're going to do about it. What this energy is going to, how it's going to live through you or not. If you're going to give it new purpose, new love. I'm thinking of a poem that I wrote actually to honor the connection between myself and my mother, and how there are certain times in your development where you like come face to face with your parent or a sibling or just somebody who's very close to you, maybe this particular person who you're wondering about this connection, and you think, why is it that you are projecting this onto me? Why is it that you are not able to see me or meet me where I am? And it's because of something inside of them, not something inside of you. And so this poem was kind of a way for me to forgive and accept the things that I am now able to love and honor and choose to accept about myself, that I no longer need another person, in this case it was my mother, to see, accept, understand about me, because I will do it for myself. And I will love the parts of me that were not met as a child. And I think that that's something that you have been doing in little ways throughout your life in other relationships, but maybe this relationship is kind of holding up a very intense mirror. I just saw 11:11 around how these pieces of you that may have not been met and held and nurtured as a child are craving that from you, and you might be seeking that outside of yourself through another person, through just like love and connection and romance and fantasy and idealization in general. But you are beginning to really accept those pieces of you. That it doesn't make it untrue or not a real connection because that person showed that to you. In fact, that is a huge gift of relationship, of all kinds. Okay. So when it comes to body signals and the mental story that you are creating, let's look at, is there some disparity? What is your body telling you? What is your mind telling you? When you're actually with this person in their presence, what is your body feeling? It's a very toasty day. That's nice. I wanted to mention that I feel like there's been a lot of energy that's been just like building up for a long time. Almost like things have been gathering up together and the dam was about to burst or has already burst. Maybe you've been feeling that as well. Just the pressure to either I think it's really a pressure to like connect to yourself, but maybe that's manifesting through a desire to connect to this person or just understand what this connection is about. To like move your body, to there's just like a lot of energy that's like, wow, like what do I do with this? Okay, 4 of Cups. So when it comes to what you're actually feeling in your body when you're with this person, I feel like this is you and this is them. You might feel like a weary traveler, someone who has been beat up, kicked around, gone through a lot, has seen your fair share of stuff along the way. And this person showing up is almost like that quote that says something like, the teacher appears when like you're ready to learn the lesson or something like that. It's reminding me of, oh gosh, what is his name? The like old wise man from Avatar. He's the Uncle Iroh. There we go. Uncle Iroh. That he would just like sit on the side of the road and have tea with you and have this like very calming, gentle presence about him. And whether that this person is like that for you or not, I think that there is this, that's something that you are craving. You are craving someone who can be like a sounding board, or just honest. Someone that you can soften around. And I think that there have been definite moments where you have noticed your body, and if this was how you felt, how you maybe felt like very fragile or vulnerable, worn down, burnt out, done, that if this person came along and had a different perspective, a different way of experiencing the world, that would have been kind of revitalizing to you. Maybe it still is revitalizing to you, depending on if this is past, present, or future. Will be revitalizing to you. Okay. What parts of this connection exist in your lived reality, and what parts live mostly in imagination for possibility? King of Cups. I think that there is a deep, there's a baby crying. I think that there is a deep emotional connection, and there is a wounded child aspect to this connection. I think that there is some part of you that is moving between isolation and a desire for connection. Like being this solitary person on the island versus the person who can like integrate themselves with others. And maybe that means maybe this person feels like a bridge. Maybe this person feels like a way to meet those needs of or desire for connection in a way that feels safe to you. I think that this experience, this connection, lives. You know what? I want to pull another card for this. Okay. 5 of Pentacles. Let's read about the 5 of Pentacles. This card symbolizes a challenging time. You may be feeling lonely, going through a time of financial instability, or struggling to get what you want. Everyone experiences times like this, and the 5 of Pentacles is a reminder that you don't have to go through it alone. Even in the most violent storm, we can ask for help and find shelter. During these trials, look beyond your losses and find a source of light within that can sustain you and help you discover creative solutions for your problems. There are difficult decisions to be faced. Sometimes you must enter the forest at night to lose yourself and be found. This is the 2 of Pentacles, but that's interesting that I ended up reading the 5 of Pentacles because I feel like that was applicable. I was like, this is not the picture. Okay, let's read the 2 of Pentacles. This card symbolizes a juggler twirling multiple balls, which represent handling projects, roles, and responsibilities. Although it may look demanding, the card doesn't necessarily signify pressure. In fact, being able to juggle different tasks can be very fulfilling. The 2 of Pentacles is a reminder that you can cope with complex situations and shouldn't worry about facing multiple concurrent responsibilities. Try finding a balance by identifying how you can manage your commitments without feeling stressed out. Being capable of managing multiple roles is important. Learn about equilibrium, the harmonious balancing of forces. I recently learned about the 2 of Pentacles on a deeper level in a community that I'm a part of. And we talked about how sometimes there's a pressure to be juggling lots of things all at the same time. And sometimes that is, it can feel like that's necessary. It can feel like it's necessary to be the court jester or the circus entertainer who can do it all. But I think that there are also moments where all of the balls need to fall to the ground and you're looking at all of them and deciding which ones do you actually want to hold and carry. Which responsibilities do you feel a true tie to? So in this instance with this connection, as to like what exists in your lived reality versus imagination or possibility, I think that there is maybe a pressure to control all of the potential outcomes, and maybe even like the perception that this person has of you, or just people in general. Like, oh, if I can control the narrative, if I can remember to be like this around this person, then I will be the type of person that they want me to be. It's very like people-pleasing, perfectionist energy. And I think that you are having a lot of that stripped away from you, partially because of this connection with this person. Back to what we were saying at the beginning, that they're stripping away what is not actually you. And there are some things about this connection that feel very tangible and real, and you might go into like that fantasy space or imagine out things that could happen, that you would like to happen, and you're noticing more of, instead of like, oh, how would this person respond if I acted like this, or like moving away from rumination or projecting out scenarios in order to plan for all of like the worst case situations, and staying more centered in what you would like to happen and what actually feels good to you. Acknowledging that if it doesn't go that way, that yes, you might be disappointed, yes, it would be sad, but that you would be able to handle it. You're a lot more centered in your own energy. There's this tactic that I will sometimes use, like when I'm out at the grocery store or just in a public place, and it's like everybody's looking at me and they're all thinking like, oh my gosh, she's so cute, she's so adorable, she's so like I'm just enjoying seeing her and her observation of the world. And I will smile at them, and a lot of times they will smile back, and I will just take that as a confirmation of this narrative in my head that people are enjoying seeing me enjoy the world. And it kind of gives me this fuel, because a lot of times being in a public place can be very draining to my nervous system. Whereas if you were to have the like mental story in your head, like, oh, everyone's looking at me, like, am I so weird, like, what's wrong with me, just like worrying about what's wrong with you, it's kind of like flipping it and internalizing pressure. So I think that you are doing the same thing within this connection, where it's like you're assuming the best. You're assuming that this person wants to be around you. You're assuming that this person enjoys your company. You're assuming that this person is seeing the best in you. And kind of going back through and pinpointing moments when they have reflected back your positive attributes or things about you that are lovable. And I think that in that process, you are spending some time maybe like in fantasy imagination land, but recognizing the power that you have over that narrative, over that script, that it feels less out of control for you. And also the power that you have to bring yourself back to right now, that you can come back to where you're sitting, come back to what you're drinking, come back to what activity it is that you want to do, where you want to be directing your energy in that moment. If you have some creative project that you want to pour your energy into, whatever things it is that you want to be responsible for. And using this connection as more fuel for your creative fire, rather than a drain or a feeling like nothing that you do or who you are won't be good enough. That there are things lacking in you. You're flipping the script. 'Cause you're awesome. And I'm sweaty. It feels good though. I have been thinking about saunas recently. I'm excited to sit in a sauna. This is my own personal sauna. Okay, the energetic bond. Let's look at the 5D connection. If you believe in the ways that we are all interconnected, the astral, if you will, when you project yourself into imagination and fantasy and future or past, anything that's not right here, right now, what connection is it that you are experiencing there? What energetic or spiritual connection may exist there, even if the relationship doesn't unfold in the way that you hope? How can you honor that? And okay, we've got, I cover up her boobies, the lovers, Lovers, dreamers, and me. Okay, so that's very sweet. I think that there is a lot of love in this connection. And I was just thinking about this quote that I saw that says something like, let's see if I think I might have written it down actually. Being loved makes you stronger, and loving another makes you more courageous. Being loved by another makes you stronger, and loving another makes you more courageous. I feel like you have been experiencing a lot of it's like all of these different threads are like coming down, and you are finding a way to weave them together into this beautiful tapestry of your story. And this person is an integral part of that, no matter how your story ends up coming together or not, because they are a part of it now. Whether you are going to end up as a lifelong committed partners who live in the same house, whether you are friends, whether you are people who came together for a season and then go your separate ways, that this partnership, this connection, this relationship has shown you that you are not reliant on another person to I was sharing this with somebody the other day. I noticed that in the Devil card, the lovers are bound together by chains. And then in the Lovers card, they are not. They have chosen to be next to each other. In this case, they are very much intertwined, but they are not chained together. And that is something that you are starting to experience more of through this connection. You're realizing that you do not have to be bound to somebody by trauma, attachment, whatever stories or narratives you had maybe expected in the past, and that the two of you can be sovereign individuals that choose to come together, whether it's with this person or somebody else down the line. But I think that this person has shown you how to stand more completely on your own. They've given you a more honest and compassionate mirror, whereas like maybe in the past you hadn't received that. Maybe in the past you had received things like manipulation, coercion, abuse. Alternatively, if this relationship has felt very coercive, I think that you're separating yourself from it and learning to stand on your own and recognizing that it is not loving. Going to sneeze, maybe? It doesn't want to come, and that's the worst. When it gets stuck like that. Okay. What part of you was this connection awakening or activating? Okie doke. The Hermit. That's awesome. Well, makes sense that this Hermit was, you might have spent a lot of time on your own, in solitude, in isolation, just keeping to yourself, all away from things and people that you felt had hurt you, did hurt you. Kind of reassessing, like we talked about, where you wanted to pour your energy. I think also determining if how to be in relation with other people, how to open your heart again. That if you had been hurt by previous connections, there could have been a time where you were tending to that broken heart and reassessing your resources. For some reason, this particular Hermit card reminds me of a Harry Styles music video. And in the music video, he's taking care of a fish. And then he realizes that instead of keeping the fish inside of an aquarium, he's going to release it back into the ocean. That would be like the most loving thing that he could do, because he really does love this fish. And maybe you kept your heart kind of in this like protective cocoon space in your hermit era for a while to protect it, to keep it from getting hurt in the same ways that it had before. And that felt like the most loving thing that you could do, and it probably was at the time. Just saw 4444 44 and now perhaps through this connection, perhaps through a new season that you're going into, this has awakened or activated a part of you that is like the lover, the passionate, the open-hearted version of you, the part of you that sees how jumping back into the ocean, putting the fish back into the ocean, is really the most loving thing that you could do for yourself. And as much as you wanted to hide, or you felt like hiding was keeping you safe, it was also keeping you from the things that you wanted the most. I think that this connection might be very scary as much as it is exhilarating and helping you find your courage again. Reintroducing you to the sensuality and pointing you back to that creative life force within you. Yeah. Okay. How can you reclaim this fire, this spark, this passion, this sensuality, without tying it to that person? Okay, we have the Chariot, Puss in Boots and Tub, and we have the Page of Cups. Both of these actually remind me of childhood things. This one over here with Puss in Boots reminds me of Aristocats. And this one reminds me of this moment in my childhood. I was at a wedding and just sitting by the pond, romanticizing my life. So while yes, this person might be a large part, like a large log on the fire, and maybe that's even a little bit startling if you had not been kindling the flame for a while, if your flame had been a little bit weak or subtle. I think that through this person, you can reconnect to things from your childhood, from just throughout different seasons of your life that really brought out that like romantic lover part of you. The part of you that could just sit and bask in the sun, that could fill your own cup until it was overflowing and not feel guilty about it, but just like luxuriate in it and then give from that overflow. And like get like so Twitter-baited, hyped up on seeing other people enjoy your abundance as well. Really moving yourself from that like scarce, tense, fearful, fight or flight state to the flow, the softness, the fluid, the open, sensual state. Maybe you're even trying out different ways of moving your body to see things from different perspectives, like doing cartwheels or handstands or skipping or putting on ice skates or rollerblades or going on a scooter ride. Maybe you are pulling out your old pictures or journals or mementos from your childhood to spark old memories. Maybe you're going through old movies or TV shows to reconnect with stories that once really resonated with you, listening to old music. Maybe you are returning to places that felt like a clubhouse or a safe landing spot for you, or creating one of your own in a new place. Yeah. You're acknowledging that you can have it both ways. That this person can be a more fuel, more energy, and a reminder to keep that flame alive if this connection is a healthy one. I mean, honestly, even if they're not, if they were an unhealthy one, it's like this reminder that you don't want that again, that you're looking for something different. You're looking for ways to feed your own soul, and you won't settle for anything less than a connection that meets you where you are. Okay. For the last two questions, I'm going to pull some of these oracle. I love oracle. What truth about your feelings deserves validation, even if the other person never gives it to you? I think sometimes we can expect another person to share how they feel, and then we'll make our decisions based on that. I think that you're doing it differently this time. You're deciding how you feel. What you want. Okay. We have liveliness. Yeah. I think that you're really checking in with those things, like how your body actually feels in connection with this person, or how alive, how awake, how attuned to your own passion, your own life path that you want to go on. And it's not to say that you can't make compromises or like blend a life with another person, but you're not going to just automatically start being like, oh yeah, like whatever you want, oh yeah, bow down to you and sacrifice everything for you. Like what you want, what you need, who you are as a person is very important, and you're starting to see how you can take up space and honor that feeling of I'm worth it. I'm worth someone who wants to show up and like give it their all just as much as I give my all for love. I think there is a little bit more that wants to come out around that, around feelings that need to be validated by you, even if this person cannot validate. Never does. Which I think, like, that's your answer. If they within reason. They don't have to validate everything, but okay, self-esteem. I mean, I think this kind of confirms that you are affirming yourself. You deserve to feel like this other person sees you and hears you and wants you and can validate you. But I think that it will feel different than like this that you are moving away from trying to fill something to meeting an equal and comparing notes. It's kind of the vibe. Like, hey, this is how I feel and understand and see things. What do you think about that? Or there may be moments of I'm feeling overwhelmed or stressed or stuck in a loop, and that person can help you to co-regulate or bring you back to center. But I think that you're being shown, I mean, it's like this sun card again from the very beginning. That you aren't being expected to be anything but who you are. And anything that does not feel like you or the person that you want to be, you can let go of it. And there may be a bit of discomfort in that process, like we talked about before, so that there may be some moments of like dysregulation or feeling like you're off kilter. But I think that you are coming back to yourself more easily. That even if this person doesn't come and say, I love you, I want to be with you, let's make babies, let's buy a house, let's move to France, let's, I don't know, whatever your dream is, then you can still validate yourself and say, those are still my dreams and I can still want those things, and they're still very real and wonderful and beautiful and magical because I am. The reason that I have them and what makes them real is me. Not the other person. Okay. When the time is right, what will love that truly meets you feel like? So that could be with this person. It could be with somebody else. Love that truly meets you. How will it feel? Keepers. Alright, let's get one more. The card that came out is love. It will feel like love. Thank you. That was helpful. We've got Cupid. This love. Vanity. Ooh. Okay. This love. What it will feel like when it meets you. How it will feel. when it truly meets you. It will feel like this makes me think of looking in a mirror and being seen as you are, but also like some level of I don't want to say that it's an inflation, but just like a highlight of the best parts of you. Because when you love someone, you really see, I think that you see all of them, but you really are focused on the best. And you're pouring your energy into that. You're fueling the wonderful aspects of who they are. And I think that that's how it will feel. It will feel like you're being watered. You're being given resources for your growth and expansion, and to soften and to be connected to the sensual aspects of life, that it will feel like warmth, I think it will feel like you don't have to question what it is. I mean, you get love, you ask for love, you get love. You don't have to like beg or force anything. It's just there. It just fits. That's not to say that you will never have moments of challenge or friction, where you're getting to know each other again. Or where you have something that, like some sort of problem, and you have to come together to decide how you're going to resolve it, work together. But you will be a team instead of being at odds, being against each other. Let's see what love says in this oracle book. Number 15. Love. How do I define love? Do I love unconditionally? Am I loved unconditionally? Love yourself. Learning to love yourself and others. The relationship potential lies in unconditional love for oneself and each other. The adventure. Sometimes we find ourselves in a relationship with someone whom we feel we love more than anything in this world and are loved back. Then again, there are relationships where we don't feel loved, even though we love, or we are loved but do not love back. Sometimes we fall in love with our best friend, or a friend falls in love with us. Likewise, we may fall in love with someone who is attached, and vice versa. The paths of love are many, and there is often heartbreak. Maybe you are in such a situation right now and don't know what to do, or maybe you are already in a happy relationship that is full of love, or maybe you are single and longing for love. You may also be afraid to engage in love because you are afraid of being hurt, which is why you have trouble admitting love or feeling love at all. If this card, okay, I'm gonna read that part. Love is probably the only feeling that is associated with such high hopes and expectations, yet infatuation is often confused with love. Infatuation is the intoxication-like feeling that makes us think incessantly about the person we are in love with, which gives us palpitations and weak knees. Infatuation is mainly related to physical attraction, while love is built on trust, connection, and physical closeness. Love can develop after the infatuation phase, but it doesn't have to. When we are in love, sometimes we don't want to take responsibility, and we haven't built up trust with the other person. We are usually not completely honest either, because we try to conceal our weaknesses as much as possible. When we are past the infatuation phase, which is often after about 3 months, we begin to really get to know and love each other. Here, bit by bit, we drop our masks and show our rough edges. It is possible that we have already developed our way of loving to our earliest childhood. Depending on the environment in which we grew up, we took on a role towards our parents that we still live in our relationships today. If we always wanted to please our parents, we could find ourselves in a relationship in which we read our parents' every emotion and do everything to fulfill all their expectations. On the other hand, such a role would suit a partner who has developed a dominant personality and finds it good that the other person shies away from conflict, has difficulty saying no, and does not stand up for his or her needs and opinions. But of course, there is also the possibility that we had wonderful role models in our childhood from whom we learned what love and relationship skills mean, so that our relationship is fulfilling and full of love. On the other hand, if we had been hurt in the past, we may not have confidence in love, and although, on the other hand, we desire love and closeness, we may not be able to allow love or may flee from love. One thing is certain, however, love must develop and requires honesty and love towards our partner, and especially towards ourselves. How can we believe that we are loved by another person if we do not love ourselves because we think we are not worthy of love? Alright, well, that was a lot, but what I'm really gathering from that, I had a few things coming to the surface while I was reading that. Let me see if I can. Oh, it was about the trust and slowing down. I think that this love, when it's the right time, you won't have to rush it. You won't have to speed up the timeline. You may have still some of those programs in you that tell you, oh, like, I need to hurry things along or move to the next stage, figure out what this means. And that's okay. I think you can acknowledge that. But I think that there will also be this sense of stillness and awareness that if this is right for you, if this relationship is a truly loving connection, that it's not going anywhere. And you're not going to scare this person away because you are taking it at your own pace. That it will work out in your favor to respect yourself and your nervous system, that it will be better for your connection to build that trust over time. And you're seeing it unfold in this very beautiful, like the way that a flower blossoms and then begins to grow on a tree or from the ground. That it takes time. It doesn't just shoot up from the ground automatically. You're realizing that also, like, sensuality, your own and within a connection, happens through a lot more of that slowness and playfulness and the tension and not expecting things to all happen at once. This connection will feel like home. But the home that you have built with intention, not one that comes from an unhealthy foundation from your past. So I heard something the other day that was like, instead of trying to rewrite the chapters from your past, maybe you can close that book and start a new one. I think that that's what you're doing with this relationship. Whether it's a connection that you're already exploring or one in your future, that you're no longer trying to force yourself to fit into certain molds or boxes or negotiating your worth, your lovability. You're realizing, I'm closing that chapter, I'm closing that book of my life, I'm demolishing that house, and I'm building up a new one where I can be as soft and sensual and safe as I have ever wanted to be. Because I am the creator of this house. I am the author of this book. I am the one who gets to invite whoever I want or don't into this house. And that includes this person. Or not. So that's what I have for you today. Thanks for being here and joining me on this journey. I hope that you are finding beautiful, loving connections with yourself and others. If you're interested in a personal reading, check out the links below. I would love to be a part of your journey. Love you. Bye.